Hello, SkinnyGPanda here. Today I am at Prompton State Park in Pennsylvania. It is March 20th. It's a really warm day. It started off at like 60 degrees and as I drove up here the temperatures did drop a little bit. It's now about 49 degrees, so it might get a little bit colder as I do the hike because this hike is primarily around a lake. What I'm looking forward to today is just conditioning with my backpack. I have it loaded with weight of gear of what I would normally take on a backpacking trip. Hoping to do about 5 miles today. There are no maps that I could find, so I'm kind of stuck at using just my navigation skills and hoping that the trail is marked. I'm just gonna hit the trail and see how it goes. So let's get to it. Awesome, there's a map up here. I mean a map on the board, but it still will let me figure out if I'm where I need to be. Oh yeah, East Shore Trail to the Eagle Pass Trail. So this board tells you where the North End Trail links to. So it links to all those trails. And I'm going to be doing the East Shore into the Eagle Pass and then come back down. It's supposed to be about 5.3 miles. And this is where you'll get a better look at it. So it gives us the colors. So the East Shore is 4.5 mile and the Eagle Pass is 1 mile. So the red and the green. I was gonna do, oh, I guess it's not gonna be the Eagle Pass. So what I was gonna do is come down, oh, here we go. Come down this red one, skip over that area, come down more of the red, hop onto the white for a little bit, go on the E, come up here, possibly hit the D, sorry, then go around the C, and I could come back down, hop on the yellow, and then out. Either way, it was supposed to be about 5 miles. Who knows? But, just gonna wing it. That's what I do best. We wing it. Oh, look at that. Could have been damaging. We've had a lot of rain and a very wet winter as well. So I'm expecting a lot of places that have, like next to a lake or a stream or something, the roading caving out. But all right, I'm gonna start this off, and as always, hope I don't get lost. The water is just so peaceful, and you can just hear the birds chirping. There are going to be some muddy parts to this trail, but I'm not really concerned about it. It seems to be still pretty easy to navigate walking around. This is probably a trail I'm glad I'm doing now. I wouldn't want to do it in spring or summer, only because this is all going to be worse mud than what it is right now. Look at that. Came up to a bridge. The water's so clear, which means I could drink out of it and not filter it. Just kidding. That day. So my video decided to stop playing before, but what I was saying is that this is a pretty muddy trail, so the mud's probably going to be one of the issues. Luckily, the mud right now is still semi-hard, so that's definitely really good to look forward to. And then you might hear me sniffling a lot, and that's only because my allergies kicked in super early this year because of the warm weather. This is gonna be our trail. So after that bridge part, if you keep walking straight, you're gonna stay on the north shore, and you're just gonna end up near like the swamp lake part. But right after it is a trail that comes up, and when you come up that, then it points you to other trail. So there's a Sidewinder trail, there's the Eagle Pass, and then there's the East Shore Trail. The East Shore Trail is the one I want to be on, so I'm glad I came up this, and now I'm gonna hit the East Shore Trail, see if it's gonna be muddy as well, and hope I navigate correctly. But so far doing pretty good. Whoop whoop. So I'm coming up to my next merge point, and this trail is really muddy. So spring and summer, this is gonna be a mess unless there's no rain. But the East Shore Trail goes that way, but I'm gonna take this Eagle Pass Sugar Shack Trail and continue up. It's been slowly inclining. Normally I'm pretty rough with inclines, but today is really killing me because I'm on a fast. So I didn't eat anything, and my body's just fueled from whatever I fueled with last night for dinner. So I'm definitely taking this slow and easy. I have lots of water with me. And that's that. On a windy day, the wind must wreak havoc on these trees. Some of them are really interesting looking. But there's a lot of down trees. I read some reviews online about this state park because I was iffy about coming here. And a lot of people say that they don't really market that well. I've been to a few state parks now, and this one's really marked well. I mean, each trail has its own color, which is nice. That's kind of rare. Each intersection has a clearly marked sign showing you which path to take depending on which trail you want to stay on. So, I mean, it's marked really well. We just passed a green marker. There's a green marker on that tree. There's a green marker on this tree. There's a green marker on that tree. I mean, it's really clearly marked. So I don't know if it was maybe a new person hiking and they weren't too sure. I'm usually really bad at navigating, like really bad. And without having a map for this part, I think this is one of the trails I've done like the best job at hiking on. So that says a lot. Watch some of my other videos and you'll see I'm usually lost the majority of the time. I mean, I can navigate back onto the trail, but I always get myself lost. This trail I haven't gotten myself lost on yet, so this park's doing something right. So I'm 2 miles in. Seems like I've gone a lot further, but the ice is still really slippery up here. So I've had to take my time going over it. And the mud is just super muddy still. But I'm coming up to another bridge. This trail is still pretty easy. So I mean, rating it for those of you guys who have limitations, this one I'm going to give moderate, and it's not because of inclines or declines. It's the terrain. So the mud makes it hard for you to navigate. Whew. Oh man. So even with the proper shoes, mud sometimes is a little harder to hike in because it's slippery. It sucks your foot into the ground. So you kind of have to have a little bit more oomph in your step sometimes when you're dealing with mud. Whoops. You can see I'm already slipping and sliding. And then, because my shoes hate me, they always untie. That's the biggest complaint to these hiking boots I have, is they always untie. I ended up shedding some layers. So with the mud, it sucks your foot in, so it makes it a little bit harder sometimes with balance, especially if you're going uphill or downhill or going across the stream. So your balance is a little bit offset because that mud's slippery. So it's something that you want to consider with your limitations. Also with your footwear. So I do have my good hiking boots on with me. I still slip and slide a little bit. So if I had a sneaker on for this type of mud, my sneakers would be ruined by the end of this trip. Most likely, unless it's like a sneaker that's like waterproof or something, your socks are going to be fully wet, and your feet's going to be muddy by the time you're done, because this mud, it's not so much deep, but on the shoe it's deep. So even though my shoes come up a little bit further than what a sneaker does, as far as like the grip goes, because I have side gripping for like stones and stepping and things of that nature. So that's something that I considered wearing my boots. So if you're going to be hiking in something muddy, I would suggest proper footwear for it. That'll make it a little bit easier for you. I mean, you can do it in a sneaker, but you're going to ruin those sneakers. You're not going to want to wear them anyplace else but hiking. But yeah, so this trail I'm going to consider moderate. It's not handicapped accessible. Now there are parts that are handicapped accessible. So you could come into that North Shore trail, and it is slightly paved. So you could wheel down about a half mile in and sit at one of those benches and take in the scenery and then wheel out. But as far as the hiking goes, it's not going to be handicapped accessible for the wheelchairs. But if you have any other types of device or any other types of limitations, this is definitely a really nice trail. There are some inclines, so you will be going up, but it's nothing really drastic, which is nice. So definitely looking forward to finishing this out and seeing what the rest of the trail entails. So I'll keep checking back in with you guys and showing you whatever I stumble across. So I'm not much further in, and I was going to take the cliff trail, but it is just solid mud, and I'm just looking all throughout the trail down there, and it's just nothing but deep, soggy mud. So I was going to take this and loop it and then come back up it and then take the Eagle Pass down. But with all that mud, I really don't want to get any more muddier than what I already am. So I'm not going to do the cliff trail today. I'm going to have to do it when it dries out a little bit better. Luckily, it's more up here in the, like the tree line. So the sunlight should get to it and help dry this out over time. But right now today, definitely not going to be able to do it, or I'm going to risk my feet getting wet. So at the bottom of the trail was this Eagle Pass area that goes all the way down back to that North Shore Trail. So I'm going to take that and head out to the car. So I know I set up for 5 miles, probably only going to do a little over 3 today. Dealing with this mud and ice was a little more of a barrier, but I got out, so I'm happy on that. Can't complain too much. I'm getting ready to head out. Again, didn't do the 5 miles due to the mud and swamp areas. It's just a little bit not doable today. But yeah, overall this is a really nice park. I like all the trails and the sceneries that you can get. The lake is freaking phenomenal, so if you get a chance to come up here, definitely recommend so. It is really well marked, so there's no concerns there. Just make sure you know what trails you want to go on and colors, and just follow it. If you do come in spring and summer, just be careful. The mountain bikers share the same trail, so if you're hiking it and they're hiking it, just make sure you make yourself aware. They usually make themselves aware so you don't end up colliding with one another. But yeah, I'm gonna finish up this trail. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any comments about this park, you can ask them down below and I'll be happy to answer them. And as always, see you on the next adventure. Bye!